Howdy folks, and welcome to my first dual screen review. Now before anyone freaks out, this is not a review of Path of Exile, the game, which is awesome by the way, and I highly recommend it. No, this is a review of Path of Exile's dual screen support. A very specific and strange topic, perhaps, but one that I think might be valuable to some people. So the purpose of these videos is going to be to let you know that a game supports dual screen play, and whether or not it's actually worth it. So first I'll tell you a little bit about my setup here. I've got one 16:9 display and one 4:3 display, and if you're going to go with two monitors, I think that's the best way to go. For example, if you had two 16:9 displays, then the split would be right down here. The split between the screens would be smack bang in the middle of your character or your crosshairs or whatever, and that would be ultra obnoxious and make it pretty much unplayable as far as I'm concerned. But if you're using one 16:9 and one 4:3, the split is actually here. Right where my mouse is, there. Right there. That's where the split is. So as a result, in FPS you can see your full crosshairs. In Path of Exile, you can see your full character. It is very playable. Okay, the only downside is here. When we go to purchase or sell something, because the inventory opens up on the side and shifts everything to the side, then it moves this box right in the middle of the split. It's not a huge issue, but just letting you know it's there. So it really doesn't stop you from using this screen. It just might be a little bit awkward, and some things you have to read across the split, which is annoying, but considering that you don't have to be too quick because you're in town, there's nothing attacking you or anything, it's not a huge issue. So I'm going to give it that, you know, I'll be like, okay, we'll turn a blind eye, that's fine. But otherwise, this menu, it's perfectly visible. This one, fine. Microtransactions, everything, character, it's all on the sides, so not a problem. Now let's do some fighting. Hang on, there's something to mention. When you go to the extreme edges of the towns, you will sometimes get this business here on the side. So clearly, this was not, you know, filled in for dual monitors. Let's check the other side, see if it's the same on the other side. Yeah, there's a little bit of black right there. A little bit. There you go. Also, I should mention the user interface. It is pretty spectacular. It is seamless. There's no stretching of the UI whatsoever. You have full functionality to the very edges. It's great. Looks great, not a problem. The only issue that you may have with the UI is you got to turn your head a little bit more to keep an eye on your life and your mana. But other than that, not a problem. Let's go to the riverways and I'll show you what it's like actually playing. So just a quick demonstration of melee combat. If we can find something to kill. Melee combat is pretty much identical. You're not going to have any problems with that. Here we go. Works exactly as it would with a single display. Not a problem. Okay, now let's switch to the bow, and this is where things start to get a little bit weird, but still very much playable. Okay, so the benefit of having two screens is that little ape right there. I can see him, and he can't see me. Or, to put it another way, he can't aggro me. Rather, hang on, let me say that again. I can see him, but I can't aggro him. You know what I mean. He's not going to attack me, because he's too far away. So, the benefit of having two screens in this case is increased visibility. I can see things before I have to fight them. And that can be a godsend, especially in the cases where you stumble across a boss. And it's like, oh shit, he just came out of nowhere. What a pain in the ass. Oh, now he's coming after me. There we go. Okay, so that's the good thing. The bad thing, or not necessarily the bad thing, but something that you need to be aware of is that you cannot actually fire a bow or any other ranged weapon at the extreme edges of the screen. Let me show you this here. So nothing, 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 there. On the other side, nothing, 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 there. So it's almost like, in fact, it's not almost like, it seems like this is exactly what's going on. Ranged weapons have a restricted range to pretty much a 16:9 aspect ratio around your character, around the center of the screen, which is here. I have a feeling this could be a design decision. For example, if you've got a guy with 2 displays against a guy with 1 display, the guy with 2 displays will be at an advantage if he can shoot at the extremes of his, viewing range. He would basically be able to snipe the guy with 1 display without him even being noticed. He would be like, where's that coming from? Because it'd be coming from off the guy with the 1 display screen. So yes, I can understand why they would restrict the range on bows and such for that reason, if that is in fact what they've done, if it's a conscious decision, which I think it is, because you can move to the extremes of the range for the most part. There is a little bit of a random dead zone. For example, right there, see, I'm clicking, nothing. There it is. On the other side, nothing, nothing, nothing. Now, I said random because it kind of depends on the map, funnily enough. For example, on whatever this is, the old fields, I noticed that I had a dead zone on the left side all the way up to about here, which is kind of ridiculous. Whereas on this side, the dead zone was up to like there. So it seems to be map dependent, which is kind of weird. But other than that, bottom line is you do not lose any functionality from playing Path of Exile with 2 monitors. What you gain is increased view distance. You can see things before you have to deal with them, which is great. And you get the kind of, oh cool, I'm playing on 2 monitors feeling, which is, let's face it, this is why we play on 2 monitors. It's not for increased view distance or any kind of strategic benefit. It's the wanky factor. It's the, oh cool, Come on, it's true, admit it. So, I mean, so you don't get a huge benefit. I don't think playing on 2 monitors is going to make you any better a player, but it definitely doesn't take anything away, and kind of looks really cool. So there you go. That's all from me for now. I highly recommend Path of Exile. It is free, it is awesome, and if you want to try it on 2 monitors, it is a mostly fantastic experience. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.